What's up, everybody? Justin Nault here. Welcome to Clovis Live Ask Me Anything number 16. We've been doing this for 16 weeks. It's nuts. It's been uber successful. Thank you guys for being here. I'm super pumped about this one. So for those of you that have never seen an Ask Me Anything, what an AMA is, an Ask Me Anything, is I answer questions from you. You being all the beautiful people out there in social media land and all of our members in the Clovis Academy and Clovis Kids. So we now have multiple Facebook groups. The Clovis Academy being a private, closed Facebook group called the Clovis Academy, which we are now over 600 members. 600 members in the Clovis Academy. Ton of great information there, a ton of amazing content and conversations happening. If you haven't checked out the Clovis Academy, it's free to join, so go check it out. That's our private Facebook group. We also have launched Clovis Kids. We have over 85 kids in Clovis Kids, which is a website and a connected private Facebook group, the Clovis Kids group. So basically, throughout the week, I take the most popular topics and I just kind of keep track of them leading up to the weekly Ask Me Anything. So in the Clovis Academy, I take what people are talking about over there and I turn it into this Ask Me Anything. So I'm going to run through a few of the most popular topics and then we're going to jump into a live Q&A. So we always do a live Q&A at the end of these. And this week is Ask Me Anything number 16. And it is called How to Feel Amazing All the Time. So that's right, how to feel amazing all the time. I'm super excited about this one because there's really only one secret to feeling amazing all the time, and that's the secret that I'm gonna give you. So I've gotten a lot of questions in the Academy about fitness. These are the most popular topics right now are fitness and what happens after your 30-day protocol. Do I get to work out after 30 days? Can I work out now? I'm 1 week in and I miss working out. I wanna work out, etc., 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 blah, 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 blah. People get on me in this fitness thing all the time. So generally speaking, I can get most people on board with nutrition. If you've taken in enough of my content, see me on video enough times, then I can usually get you on board with the background science, my passion for this topic, and just the in-your-face approach that I take. I can usually sell people on the nutrition side of things. But when I tell people that I do not want them to have any intense exercise for the first 30 days, they look at me like I am the devil. They can't stomach it. They freak out. They tell me there's no way I'm gonna get fat if I don't work out. I'm gonna get fatter if I don't work out. Intense exercise, intense exercise. No, I'm gonna teach you the one concept that you need to feel great all the time, and it has nothing to do with fitness, although I will talk about fitness just to make you guys happy if you want to use fitness to increase this one trick that I'm going to tell you. So I'll explain why some of you might not be ready for exercise yet. That's a big, big thing. Most of you, by the time you get to me, a lot of nutrition approaches and a lot of fitness approaches have already failed you and you're fed up. That's why you're listening to Justin from Clovis. You're looking for something that's going to work for you. My protocol is the thing that's going to work for you, so I need you to trust me. Part of that is trusting my fitness recommendations. So as we discussed in AMA number 15, macros are literally the keys to human health. So if you haven't seen AMA number 15, after this, go back, watch AMA number 15, right? We talk about the 3 keys to human health. It's a deep dive in all the macronutrients. Everything you need to know about macronutrients to optimize your health. Now, the secret is what I'm doing with macronutrients is I'm actually manipulating your hormones. That's another thing that came up a lot in the Academy this week is I get a ton of questions about hormones. So I have some tips specifically for women, if you're watching, to stick around. So stay till the end. If you stay to the end, I will literally give you a step-by-step plan for becoming fat adapted in a matter of weeks, which means your body will burn its own stored body fat, which is exactly what you want for the results that you're looking for. You will achieve the key to optimal human health, which is metabolic flexibility. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before, but we're going to be talking about metabolic flexibility a lot today. You'll learn how to tap into your body's internal voice to achieve maximum results. I'm going to teach you how to listen to your body, specifically women, so stick around for that. Then you can jump into my live Q&A. You can ask me anything you want to directly in the comments section. And at the very end of this, we're going to give you another very special offer. So for those of you that have seen these Ask Me Anythings, we're 16 weeks in, the offers keep getting crazier and crazier. We keep giving you amazing things just for watching these videos and consuming our content. We love you for it. So a lot of you already know me, so you've already heard this, but for those of you that you're a first-time viewer, my name is Justin Nault, and I am the founder and CEO of Clovis. I invented a line of nutritional products called the Perfect Paleo Powder. And I am also a certified nutritional therapist and certified specialist in sports nutrition. I create amazing transformations in the lives of human beings. It's what I do. In the last 60 days, I have done this for over 315 people through custom nutrition plans. So stick around, hear me out, and at the end, we'll talk about how you can get your hands on your very own custom nutrition plan from me. Enough about me, let's dive in. AMA number 16, how to feel amazing all the time. Every single person who has ever come to me, every single person, fit, overweight, skinny, whatever, every single one of you that has ever come to me is carbohydrate dependent. I call you sugar burners. That's what I call them, sugar burners. Every single one of you has come to me as a sugar burner. What is a sugar burner? So a sugar burner is basically this. You wake up in the morning, you take in some carbohydrates, wham! Spike your insulin, spike your blood sugar, spike your energy. A couple hours later, now it's 10 a.m., 11 a.m., you're at work, you need another cup of coffee, reach for a granola bar, more sugar, carb. Ooh, I got a little more energy. And then 2 hours later, you're crashing again. What do you reach for? Caffeine and energy drink, more sugar, spike, boom. You do this roller coaster all day, every day. And what comes of that? You need to eat every 2 hours. You wake up in the morning, but you never really feel quite rested. You don't feel ready to jump on the day. You have mood swings. People get hangry. We have terms for this, like hangry and all this stuff, right? So you live on soda, energy drinks, carbohydrates, just to keep yourself going through the day. And side note, we also do this with our kids, which is basically child abuse. It's ridiculous. So in America, the 2 p.m. struggle is very real. The 2 p.m. struggle. You guys know what that is, right? Everybody needs a nap or another cup of coffee or another energy drink just to keep going through the day. So I'll give you a quick story about this because it's fun. My dad is an entrepreneur, ultimate entrepreneur, the man who raised me to be an entrepreneur. He's incredible. But when we were little kids, he was working 80 hours a week, sleeping with a beeper on his chest when we still had beepers. Wake up in the middle of the night because somebody's system network went down and he had to go fix it, crawling through ceiling tiles in the middle of the night, running wires, right? My dad was a savage, just an amazing entrepreneur. But he worked out of this little office that he had, his first office. And he told me he used to live on Wendy's, Burger King, whatever, soda, fast food, milkshakes. And at 2 p.m. every day, in his suit and tie, he'd lay down on the floor of his office and take a nap. And he told me that he used to think to himself, I will know I'm successful when I finally have a really nice couch in my own office so I can lay down and take a nap in the middle of the day so I don't have to sleep on the floor anymore. That was his marker for success, right? And he went on to build an astronomically successful company over 25 years with over 300 employees. He did very, very well. Probably would have done even better if he knew these nutrition secrets now, and he'll be the first to admit that. So the crazy thing is we've just accepted this nonsense. We've accepted that we crash all the time. We're just used to crashing. We're used to feeling tired, we're used to feeling crappy, and we're used to reaching for these poor fuel sources to just keep this spike and crash happening all day long. It's crazy. We're gonna feel tired and hungry and hangry and whatever, all day, every day. So what's the reason for this? The reason is we have selected, because of the food pyramid, we've talked about the food pyramid. This is your food pyramid, right? Carbs. That's the reason. We have chosen an incredibly poor fuel source. Like pretty much the worst fuel source you could ever think of. Simple, processed, refined carbohydrates, okay? So what does that lead to? It leads to this. Now, this might be the first time that you guys hear these terms, okay? So the term I want to talk to you about, because it's what all of you have when you get to me, is metabolic inflexibility. This is a long word. Flexibility. Metabolic inflexibility, right? So what does that come from? Now, in a perfect world, there are two major fuel sources. You have glucose, carbohydrates, and you have fatty acids. Now, fatty acids are a much better fuel source, much better fuel source. So, glucose should be thought of as all carbohydrates. So, glucose equals carbs. All carbs become glucose in the system at one point or another. Your body doesn't know the difference between these different carbohydrate sources, okay? So think of carbs and glucose. Those terms are now interchangeable, right? So your body burns glucose because it burns the fastest. It's the quickest and easiest and cheapest fuel source. And then fatty acids are a much superior fuel source, but they burn a little bit differently. The body has to convert them into something called ketones before it can burn them. So the way I want you to think about this is, let's say you're in Alaska and you're freezing, it's the middle of the night, you need to make it through the night, you need to build a fire for you to live, right? Think of it like this. Glucose is newspaper. So you have a big giant pile of newspaper that somebody gave you, right? Society's constantly giving us carbohydrates, constantly. So somebody's just delivering newspaper to you in Alaska, and you need to survive with this fire. If all you have is newspaper to keep that fire burning, to sustain, you're gonna die in Alaska, 100%. You just throw newspaper on the fire, it keeps burning, burning, burning. And what else does newspaper do when you throw it on a fire? Turns into ash and soot, spits out in the atmosphere, floats away, you're breathing in black, dirty air, right? It's literally like polluting the air. It's like pollution, right? Those are your carbohydrates, fast burning and polluting. You're literally polluting your body. Burning carbohydrates promotes oxidative stress through releasing free radicals in your system. Think of it like that. Burning glucose is polluting your body. Literally polluting your body. And that's what we live on all day, every day. Now, fatty acids, if you think of fatty acids, they burn long and clean. So you have the newspapers you throw on the fire and they sprinkle up in the air, pollute, ash, soot, nasty, dirty burning, right? Big fat logs burn, they light up big red ambers and they just burn, they sustain. It's a long burning fuel source. It's sustainable for a long, long time. When your body's running on fat, you never get hungry, you don't have the spikes and crashes. It's an equal level amount of energy that you can just ride forever, right? I never get hungry. I'm fat adapted. I literally never get hungry. I just eat when it's time to eat, okay? But the problem is, we've given the body so much glucose for so long that our body literally forgot how to burn fat, right? Forgot how to burn fat. We all have fat on our body. There's essential body fat percentage. You can't get below a certain body fat percentage or you die. We have stored body fat. We have energy literally clinging to us, living on us, that we cannot access because of glucose carbohydrate dependency. We can't do this. You can't burn fat. By the time you get to me, you can't burn fat. And this is why every single traditional diet that you try fails, because even the initial weight loss success, right? You're not losing fat. You're losing weight. You're losing water weight. You're burning muscle tissue. You're just losing overall weight. That's not a good thing. It's not healthy. It's not sustainable. So remember, with excess glucose in the system, you cannot burn fat. It's impossible, right? That's why these diets fail long term. It's not actually fat loss. That's why I always tell you I don't care about weight loss. I don't care about a scale, because weight loss doesn't tell the whole story. I want to know if you're losing fat, okay? So the secret to weight loss, this comes into a question I get in the academy all the time, endocrinology and the hormone system, right? Most women come to me with a hormone disruption, and a lot of things come into play here, like birth control and all these things, and PMS and your cycle, all this stuff comes into play. Hormones run the show. Hormones run everything. The secret to weight loss is hormone optimization. We need to balance out your hormones and get things working correctly, primarily through moderating insulin production. So without insulin, the body cannot store fat, okay? So insulin equals fat storage. Okay? So if we can regulate insulin, minimize fat storage, right? Without a surplus of insulin, you can't store body fat, right? So it would make sense to regulate or moderate that insulin production, the insulin secretion. Less insulin, less body fat storage, right? Fantastic. Well, excess insulin plus excess glucose equals fat storage. What spikes insulin? Carbs. This food pyramid right here spikes insulin and promotes fat storage. So this is a little bit of the science behind what's going on here. And I just need to break this down so we can get to the point of explaining this metabolic inflexibility. Okay? So we want to achieve fat adaptation, meaning that your body prefers fat for fuel. Okay? So inside your cells, you have something called mitochondria. Mitochondria are like these little powerhouses, right? Mitochondria is responsible for taking food and turning it into energy, for taking these molecules and converting them into ATP, creating energy. Your mitochondria in your cells are what creates energy. Now, they break down glucose and fat for energy, but mitochondria burn fat and ketones far more cleanly than they do glucose, okay? So glucose generates these free radicals, oxidative damage, and accelerated aging. So burning glucose for fuel is literally pro-aging. I mean, your skin, your hair, the color of your hair, how you feel, all these things, it's pro-aging. If you want to age quicker, make all of your energy come from carbohydrates. That's crazy, right? It's pro-aging. Nobody wants that. So, if you're overweight already, you come to me overweight, your body has literally forgotten how to burn fat. You must reprogram it. So take this in, I'm gonna wipe this off real quick and we're gonna change this, okay? So that's metabolic inflexibility. So if we talk about the opposite of that, metabolic flexibility. Now, metabolic flexibility means that glucose and fat can be utilized for fuel effortlessly as needed, right? As needed. On an as needed basis, the body can effortlessly shift from one fuel source to another depending on demand. So glucose is stored as glycogen. Okay? Now, glycogen is really the only thing that should ever be utilized to burn glucose. So, glycogen is literally a survival mechanism. Your body stores glucose for emergency situations. If you think of this paleo, ancestral, right? We think about our ancestors, right? Their glycogen stores were for moments of imminent danger. Death, right? Like a lion is chasing me. I need to sprint as hard as I possibly can. That requires glucose. It's a glycolytic activity. You can only burn glucose during these periods of time, okay? So literally, it should only be used in emergency situations. I mean, 99% of your activities should be fueled by fat. Literally, 99% of all your daily activities should be fueled by fat. You should be able to use fat for fuel all the time. You almost never have enough of a stressor, maybe like a CrossFit WOD or something. If you're a fitness person, you're gonna need some glucose, okay? But the problem with metabolic inflexibility is that you never burn fat. So you can't burn fat for glycolytic activity. You can burn glucose for aerobic activity when you should be burning fat. If you're metabolic inflexibility, you only ever burn sugar. That's it. Glucose is sugar. It's the only thing that your body knows how to burn. And the reason for that is because you've given it glucose, carbohydrates, carbohydrates, carbohydrates. It's never had to learn how to burn fat. You start off as a baby knowing how to burn fat, and then well-meaning adults introduce you to carbohydrates and screw the whole thing up. You become metabolically inflexible for the rest of your life until you run into this crazy guy, Justin with Clovis, who tells you how to become fat adapted, which is what we're gonna get into next. So metabolic inflexibility literally locks our bodies in sugar burning mode. We are never able to access fat for fuel, okay? So metabolic flexibility is the reason why I take away fitness. If somebody comes to me significantly overweight, now in my world, 30 plus pounds, that's obese. I put you in a high risk category and I take away intense exercise. My recommendation to you, if you get a custom plan from me, is gonna be no intense exercise for 30 days. Okay? And a lot of people get really upset by this. I tell you to take a daily walk, do some movement, maybe a little bit of yoga if you want to, get outside and walk, whatever. I just really prefer walking even over yoga because some people can get really intense with yoga poses, right? So get outside and walk. That's all I recommend. And people get mad at this, but there's a reason for it. Like we said, carbohydrates are dirty energy and promote inflammation. Now, if you're significantly overweight, This means that you are in a chronically inflamed state. You're already just massively inflamed. I can't even explain it. Like, you cannot be obese and not be inflamed, really. So when you're overweight, you're far more susceptible to the oxidative damage caused by training and other forms of life stress, okay? Now, anaerobic workouts, intense workouts, emphasize glucose burning. They burn glucose. It's a dirty burning fuel, oxidative stress, free radicals, more inflammation, okay? Now, in simple terms, if you're an overweight individual, you simply cannot handle the stress of added inflammation and intense exercise. You can't. You are working against yourself. So on top of this, intense exercise spikes cortisol levels. Cortisol is a hormone that promotes gluconeogenesis. So you spike cortisol, your cortisol level tells your body to create more glucose, to just keep this cycle going. More glucose, we need more glucose. We're ridiculously stressed out, we're inflamed, we're stressed, this is crazy. Give us more sugar. So besides the glucose that you're taking in your poor Western diet, right, your body starts making its own glucose. You have this endless cycle of glucose production, right? You're locked in to sugar burning, okay? So we have to handle the inflammation and chronic stress in the body. Don't shoot the messenger here. But simply by being significantly overweight, you're dealing with spiked cortisol, you're dealing with spiked inflammation, you're dealing with high stress levels. We need to love your body and give it time to heal, okay? So the anaerobic workouts emphasize glucose burning. Aerobic workouts, which are completely different, these are low heart rate, low intensity workouts. Aerobic workouts emphasize fat burning, and they're energizing and they're minimally stressful on the body. So we're going to talk about that in a minute, how you can use this. But with the overweight clients, they can take walks during the 30 days. That's it. No intense exercise. Everyone likes to fight me on this and call me crazy, but I'm telling you, the results speak for themselves. So speaking of which, I'm going to give you a quick testimony, and we'll have a graphic here to show you. There's a girl named Jenny in the Clovis Academy. And I already talked to Jenny today. She gave me permission to share this with you guys. So Jenny was someone who came to me overweight, and I suggested that she calm down on the training, right? This is someone who was training intensely. I believe when she got to me, she was training 6 days a week of intense activity. You know, kind of one of those living room warriors, like a beach body or whatever it might be. Just work out. The more you work out, the more results you're gonna get. The more you work out, no pain, no gain. Hit it, right? She just couldn't lose weight. Comes to me, says, Justin, what do you think I should do? I give her a plan, and I say, I think you should stop all that intense exercise. I think you should let me get your nutrition handled. Let's really, really get this locked in, get this nutrition part solid, and let's leave that intense stuff alone, just for a little while. Just give me 30 days. She was not having it. She fought me on this, right? She said, it's my mental release, it makes me feel good, I need this exercise, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not one for changing minds, okay? If you're a vegetarian, I'm not gonna fight with you. If you love your intense workouts, I'm not gonna fight with you. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm gonna let you do it your way, right? I'll give you the macros you need. So I gave her macros according to her 6 days a week of intense exercise, and I let her do it her way, and I sat back and I waited. So 49 days later, here's what happened, right? She wrote me this in the Clovis Academy, and I'm just gonna read it to you. Warning, long post. For the first time in my life since 6th grade, I feel confident enough to not wear makeup in public. Sorry, my before pic is from a sweaty pic. That was the only time I would take a photo of myself without makeup and show it to a very small group of girls. In my before photo, my forehead, my cheeks had small red bumps that were getting worse, and they itched, and I had acne on my chin and neck. Also, my after photo was taken while on my period. My first period, not experiencing a breakout. First one, not experience a breakout. I also had a small clear growth you can't see in the photo happening on my cheek, and it's gone. So my life partner has seen me try everything. Vegan, banana girl, beach body, multiple detox cleanses. In conversation with a family member, I heard him say, yeah, she has found something that is real. He's talking about Clovis, right? Not something that works, but something that is real. And she said, I didn't even think he was on board with all this, but he's watching, he's observing. So she explains that she's on day 57. Her first 49 days, now remember, she fought me tooth and nail in the fitness thing. She kept her intense exercise as part of her protocol. And I said, okay, go do your thing. My first 49 days, I had no physical change, but I could feel things changing on the inside. I was also working out 6 days a week, crushing herself on the fitness side of things, right? So here's what she says. I wrote Justin on day 49, and he told me to stop working out and relax. 8 days later, I am all of a sudden 6 pounds lighter. Life is good. So think about that. Day 49 with no physical change. She comes to me. Day 1, I said, get rid of the intense exercise. No physical change, 49 days. She comes to me, Justin, what do I do? For me, it's kind of like giving her a hug. Welcome back. Thanks for asking, right? Let's go back to day 1. Let's get rid of that intense exercise. And she lost almost a pound a day, 6 pounds in the first 8 days just by getting rid of the intense training. And you can see the before and after picture yourself. Her face red, swollen, inflamed. That is how powerful this entire idea is of just constantly spiking glucose, spiking glucose, spiking glucose. It's inflammation. All of that red, the breakouts that she's experiencing in her face, that's inflammation manifesting itself. So almost all skin issues are, right? We got rid of the inflammation. We let her relax. We loved the body. Love your body just for 30 days. Take it easy on yourself. Stop beating yourself up, right? It's crazy. So this is what we're doing. We're literally saying, okay, body, you've been obese for 3 decades. This ends now. I'm going to beat you into submission. We're literally beating the hell out of our own bodies, just beating ourselves down. Punishment, punishment, no pain, no gain. Bop, 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 bop. You deserve this, right? This is the only thing we can do. And then we expect our bodies to do what we want it to do. Literally, we're not caring for ourselves at all. We're abusing ourselves. There's so many people go, I just don't have the discipline to get in shape. I don't have the discipline to lose weight. I can't do it. I don't have the motivation, right? Because they think they need to have motivation to get up and go to the gym 6 days a week. You're working against yourself. I promise you, Jenny's proof of it, and I have countless other testimonies with the same thing. Every crazy testimony that you've ever seen on Clovis, social media, 50 pounds in 6 weeks, 40 pounds in 60 days, all these things were done with zero fitness and a custom macronutrient plan that I created myself. That's how you get real results, because I use science. Let me use science for you, right? Talk about it. So the golden rule here all comes down to carbohydrates. Now, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you get a custom macronutrient plan from me. First and foremost, let me say that. If you want to maximize your results, come to me and get a custom macronutrient plan. Trust me. If you want Jenny type results, or the 50 pounds in 6 weeks results, or the 40 pounds in 60 days results, right? So the thing that I want to show you here, and this is a giant oversimplification. If for some reason you don't come to me for custom macronutrients, I just want you to follow this rule. Less than 50 grams net carbs per day. That's basically the golden rule. If you want to kick your habit of being a sugar burner, right? You have to take in less than 50 grams net carbs per day. Now, that being said, the other macronutrients really, really matter. So again, I suggest you come to me, but at the bare minimum, remember less than 50 grams net carbs per day. And this is a requirement. If you want to defeat carb addiction, this is an absolute requirement, because the average American gets between 300 to 600 grams of carbohydrates per day. Remember that number, because we're going to talk about that in a little bit. 300 to 600 grams of carbohydrates per day. To put that into perspective for you, I probably eat 35 grams a day. Literally 10 times less, right? 300 to 600 grams for the typical American carbohydrates, all right? So, I'm going to explain how this works real quick, and we're going to do it visually, just to hammer this home. So remember that 50 carb rule, right? So let's say we have a gas tank, right? This is the way we see a gas tank. Gas tank, gas tank. So I'm going to cut this down the middle like this, and I'm going to write detox. Okay? That says detox. Now, we're going to look at a gas tank like this. We have empty, and we have full. This is the gas tank of your body, the fuel tank of your body. But it doesn't tell the whole story. This is not one fuel tank, it's technically two. So let me walk you through this. Let's do this. And we're going to say empty. Then right here, we're going to say full. Okay? So here, we have glucose. This is the glucose that you keep pumping into your body. It's all the carbohydrates that you eat that are floating around in your bloodstream. That's the first thing it's going to use for energy. As long as you're dumping glucose into this fuel tank, that's all you're going to get. Now, once you burn through that free-floating glucose, you're going to hit this. This is a reservoir of glucose called glycogen. That's storage form of glucose. Glycogen, okay? So, you have to burn through all this glucose, get through all of this, then you have to burn through this glycogen, then you're going to land smack dab into the detox phase, okay? And the reason for that is this right here. See this empty sign? This empty spot in your first fuel tank is going to go crazy. Gas lights on, we're going to break down, we're going to die, this Justin guy's crazy, oh my god, I have a headache, I feel terrible, I feel irritable, I feel gross, I'm yelling at my kid, this is terrible, blah, 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 blah. Justin guy's crazy, screw Clovis, screw his protocol, I'm going to eat an apple and drink a full glass of orange juice and snack on some pineapple or eat a granola bar and just dump more glucose into here, blah, 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 refill that tank and just live right here. This is where everybody lives. Full, empty, full, empty, full, empty. That's your blood glucose spike, an insulin level spike, and all this. And as long as this glucose level's full, you're just consistently storing body fat. More body fat, more body fat, more body fat, more body fat. It's crazy. But if you bear with me and you deal with the detox. Now, if you go in the Clovis Academy, you'll see a lot of testimonies about the detox. You can just search detox in the search bar, right? People talking about, oh my God, how do I get through this? And I teach them how to supplement electrolytes. I can teach you about a couple supplements you can use to get through that detox phase, little tips and tricks besides reaching for carbohydrates to get through that detox phase. And all of a sudden, what happens? Once you get through the detox, which only lasts a few days, don't be a baby, right? It's a few days to change the rest of your life. I'm going to show you what happens. Boom. Do you know what this is? This is a brand new fuel tank full of sustainable, clean burning energy that you can use for the rest of your life. For 99.9% of all activities, you can use this fuel tank that you couldn't even access until you removed all the nonsense. We got rid of all the nonsense, right? Now we have access to this clean burning fuel source for the rest of your life. Do you know what it is? Fat. This is your brand new fat fuel tank that will carry you through the rest of your life. Anything you want to do. And the beauty of it is, whenever you need a little bit of glucose, because something has happened, you have to run from a burglar, or you're doing a CrossFit WOD, or you're in a boxing match or something, and you absolutely need glucose, your body, which is now metabolically flexible and has the freedom to shift between the two different fuel sources, is just going to go, oh, we need glucose? We have some of that stored over here as glycogen in our muscle cells. Let's just grab that glycogen, spit it out into the bloodstream as glucose, and let the mitochondria burn it for fuel. There you go. Fat adaptation. You burn fat most of the time. You use glucose when you need it. You have now achieved metabolic flexibility. Okay? Now the thing about it is it's going to take at least 8 weeks to be truly metabolically fat adapted, metabolically flexible. And you can speed this up using fitness. Now unfortunately, if you're significantly overweight, we're going to have to wait a little bit for this. It'll be 30 days down the road. We'll talk about it on day 31. Until then, just take a light, leisurely walk, 20-minute walk every day. Now, if you're not significantly overweight, you're ready for this, and we talk about it, and I determine that you're in this position, you're not in the high-risk zone, let's talk about how to use aerobic training to speed this process up, make that 8 weeks not become 12 weeks or 16 weeks or whatever, 21 weeks, right? That is called aerobic training, true aerobic training. Low intensity, right? This is an energizing exercise. It's minimally stressful in the body. It's really difficult to overtrain. You're not going to be spiking cortisol levels and spiking inflammation, okay? So let's talk about that. How do you know that you're doing true aerobic training? Well, you have to monitor it. Luckily, we have technology to do that for us. So you need a really good heart rate monitor, and I suggest always using a chest strap heart rate monitor because it's the most accurate. I recommend the Polar H10 and the Polar Beat app. The Polar Beat app is free. The H10 I think is going to run you 50 to 70 bucks, something like that, right? And you're going to use aerobic threshold training. Aerobic, right? Burns fat for fuel, utilizes fat for fuel. Now all you do is take 180 minus your age, and that is your max heart rate for aerobic training. That's how you guarantee that you stay in the fat burning zone. So if you're 30 years old, right, your number is 150. You have to stay under 150, preferably between 140 and 150, like this, right? And just monitor it. You monitor it on your phone. Now, for a lot of you, to stay under your aerobic threshold, you're going to find that you have to walk. You can't even jog. You can't even run because you're not there yet. You haven't built that aerobic threshold, right? So what you do when you build this aerobic base, when you build a really, really strong aerobic base, all of a sudden you become a Tesla. Like literally. You access glucose when you need it, but you're a clean burning engine that's ridiculously powerful. Right? You can do whatever you want. You are now this clean burning Tesla. Now, even if you're a fitness person and you never train this type of training, you just do CrossFit WODs and hit it as hard as you can all the time, you're basically trying to fine tune a moped. You're taking a moped engine and trying to tweak it to make it be as good as the Tesla. It's not going to happen, but I can't get these just the fitness, just crazy fitness people, the meatheads, right? I can't get them to take an 8-week break from their protocol to just do aerobic training, which is what I did. By the way, I was one of you, okay? This is a good thing for everyone. Building a strong aerobic base will improve every single aspect of your performance. CrossFit, jiu-jitsu, boxing, kettlebells, running, mud races. How do I know this? Because I do all of those things. And I was an epic meathead. I was deadlifting 425 pounds for reps. I was squatting 310 pounds. I was killing myself overtraining. When I wasn't powerlifting, I was swinging kettlebells, doing jiu-jitsu, boxing, absolutely killing myself. Never built an aerobic base. It was very difficult for me and my mindset to take 8 weeks off and just do light jogging. I mean, just barely moving, right? But I built this aerobic base, I got the nutrition perfect, and when I went back to everything, I was better at everything. Literally, better at everything. This is why you look at a guy like me, if you take the most jacked up musclehead CrossFit dude that you've ever seen and all he does is CrossFit training, and you put him against me in an endurance race or jiu-jitsu or boxing, right? He's gonna come out strong out of the gate like an absolute monster, and all I gotta do is hang on for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, it's going to look like I'm fighting a child because their little moped engine craps out and then they got nothing left, right? And I can go for days because of the aerobic threshold I built. Now, granted, you put me in a CrossFit competition with a CrossFitter, he's going to destroy me, absolutely destroy me, right? But he doesn't have that aerobic base. And the aerobic base plays over into all aspects of life. This is good for everything, right? The glycolytic training, all that stuff, glycolytic training only makes you better at glycolytic training. It doesn't make your aerobic threshold stronger. Doesn't improve your endurance. Doesn't do any of those, right? This is the what the hell effect. The what the hell effect. If all you do is train your aerobic threshold training, everything else is going to get better. It's crazy, right? So it translates into everyday life. So building a strong aerobic base is good for everyone, even the fitness people, especially the fitness people. I think it's really important that you build an aerobic threshold. If you want to get better, if you want to compete, and you really want to get to those elite levels, you got to build this aerobic threshold. It's only 8 weeks, trust me. Like people are like, oh, I'm gonna stop working out, I'm gonna stop doing CrossFit for 8 weeks and I'm gonna get fat. No, you're not. I'm talking about turning you into a fat burning furnace. Any excess body fat that you have is gonna be gone, right? I'm teaching your body how to burn fat primarily as its fuel source. It's awesome. You're not going to experience negative physique results. If anything, it's only going to get better. Now, real quick, I just want to walk you through this because maximum, even for fit people, I would say you could do this for 30 minutes 5 times a week. right? That's it. Maybe 45 minutes if you really want to push it. If you're going to be in a competition or something like an endurance race, maybe do that. This is how you should train for endurance races, by the way. If you want to do a 5K or a 10K or something like that. Now, if you want a minimum effective dose, you're a little bit overweight, trying to lose that last 5-10 pounds, you don't care about competition or anything, do this for 20 minutes, 3 times a week. It's probably your minimum effective dose. But remember, this takes 8 weeks. No intense exercise for 8 weeks, because even a minimal anaerobic stimulus can shift your body into sugar burning mode for 72 hours. Your body just starts cranking out glucose. Gluconeogenesis creates its own glucose, goes back to burning sugar, and then you got to kind of start the process over 72 hours later. So you're just missing these 3-day windows every time you do it. Trust me, just take it easy. Use it as a chance to recover from nagging injuries or whatever. Just relax, take it easy on your body. Becoming fully fat adapted is like becoming a Tesla. It's worth it. So, one thing I want to talk about with carbohydrates before we wrap up here is I've been getting a lot of questions from women regarding their hormones. I'm going to give women really good news here, because a lot of women talk about their cycle, right? There's a particular week of the month that is very difficult. And I keep seeing women in the Clovis Academy that are beating themselves up saying, this one week of the month, I just say screw it. I always fall off the wagon and I drink a soda or I eat apples or I eat popcorn or whatever, right? Because I just had these intense cravings. Listen to me. Now, granted, when you're metabolically inflexible, your body's giving you some weird signals. You just need carbohydrates all the time. But if you've been on my protocol for 2-3 weeks and you're following it well and you're not having these same cravings or anything, and then all of a sudden 1 week pops up where you're getting cravings, listen to those cravings. That's your body telling you that it needs something to keep hormone regulation in check, right? So a carbohydrate refeed is a very beneficial thing for women. So plan for this, right? You shouldn't just be low carb all the time or ketogenic all the time if you're a woman, right? So there's going to be that 1 week. You know when it is. I don't know when it is. Plan for it, right? Have certain things in your house. So when you get that feeling that you want carbohydrates, reach for Taza dark chocolate. Go with 80%. It's got even a little bit more sugar than the 85 or the 90 or whatever. Eat a little bit of that. Grab a banana. God forbid, right? Cook yourself a big fat sweet potato, melt some grass-fed butter on it, put some cinnamon on there, eat that. It's gonna be delicious. Do what you can to squash those carbohydrate cravings. Give your body the carbs. Go out and have sushi. Go out and have some white rice sushi. Eat it, have fun with it, have a glass of red wine, dry red wine, right? Get those carbohydrates in, listen to your body. You're not gonna ruin anything. We're so all or nothing with this. I see that in the academy and it makes me a little bit nervous. And rather than just harp on these people one at a time, I just wanted to throw that out here. When you're getting those serious carbohydrate cravings and it's that specific time, listen to your body, give it what you need, and you'll be surprised. You may even see extra fat loss that week. It's really crazy. If you give your body what it's asking you for, once you fix the signals, you fix the metabolic inflexibility and get to metabolically flexible, even if you're 2 to 3 weeks in, you're already past the sugar detox, you're tapping into fat stores. Your body knows what it's doing now. It's getting there, right? So don't just say, hey, oh my God, Justin told me to eat white rice. I just ruined everything. No, next day, you just get back on track. If you have some carbohydrate cravings the next day, eat a little bit more dark chocolate. Eat a little bit more sweet potatoes. Just don't go get Doritos and eat a cheeseburger and eat French fries and go get a milkshake from Wendy's. Just don't do that. Just handle it wisely. Handle those carbohydrate cravings wisely. Now, I want to walk you through these things real quick, because when it comes to net carbs, so net carbs, I want you to think about it this way, so you're not afraid of this. I don't want you to be afraid of listening to those cravings. So anything less than 100 grams promotes fat loss. Anything about 100 to 150 can be considered maintenance. And anything over 150 per day, carbohydrates, is going to equal lifelong weight gain. We'll call it fat gain, okay? Now, the typical American diet, 300 plus, this is metabolic disease. And if that's not clear enough for you, early death, 100%. 300 net carbohydrates or more per day, metabolic disorder, metabolic disease, and or death, right? All the diseases associated with metabolic syndromes, which is basically every single Western disease that we know. Okay? So, as long as you're here, stay under 100 grams. On those days when you get those carbohydrate cravings, you're probably eating 30, 40 grams on my plan anyway, maybe 50 depending on who you are. Eat 75. See how you feel. Have a big ass sweet potato. Just try it. Listen to your body when you get those cravings. All right. So that's about it. How to feel amazing all the time. Ask me anything. Number 16. Remember, preferably come to me for custom macros. This was a lot to take in, okay? We have a lot of visuals, a lot of things for you to look at this week. I got sciencey because we got sciencey last week and you guys seem to like that. So I want to figure out a way to just distill this science into digestible bits for you guys week by week so you can really, really learn about these are like master classes, right? And how biochemistry works. So remember the golden rule, if you don't get custom macros from me, get custom macros. If you don't get custom macros from me, less than 50 grams net carbohydrates per day, only walking for fitness if you're significantly overweight. If not, follow the 180 rule, the aerobic threshold training for 8 weeks, maximum 30 minutes 5 times a week, maybe 45 if you're training for something. Minimum effective dose would be 20 minutes 3 times per week. That's it. Tap into that body fat for fuel. Only use glucose when you need it. So, what that brings us to is this week's offer. Ask me anything, number 16. Here's what we're gonna do. Tonight's offer is super simple, a little simpler than we've been in the past. So like I said, if you want to simplify all of this, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you get custom macronutrients from me. Let me make custom macronutrients for you. Now, before I jump into custom macros for you, I just want to talk to you guys a bit about Clovis Kids. Clovis Kids is launched. It's been massively successful with over 85 kids in it. All the parents are already in the Facebook group that I'll tell you about in a second. They're all chatting, sharing secrets, sharing pictures. It's awesome, right? Now, we ran an incredible deal last week. Can't give you the same deal. You guys snoozed on that one. But I'm going to give you a great deal this week to Clovis Kids, okay? So, first things first, I'm going to give you access to Clovis Kids. Let me tell you a little bit about Clovis Kids. Clovis Kids is an exclusive members-only website. You can only access this website. You get your own custom login. You can only access it as a member, okay? So you get access to Clovis Kids. Clovis Kids is littered with content. It is literally an encyclopedia for all things childhood nutrition and even just human nutrition. There are multiple videos of me that I shot specifically for Clovis Kids. This is video content that will never be outside of Clovis Kids. It's just exclusive members-only content that's already living there right now. People have accessed it and they're going crazy for it, right? So you get videos of me. You get access to the most relevant articles and websites that I share with you on how to improve the nutrition of your kids. You get all of my favorite books on human nutrition. Literally, you go through all these books and you're gonna have a masterclass on biochemistry and how the human body works. All the tools you need to completely take over the health of your child and your entire household. All the FAQs that parents leave me, the number one questions I get about childhood nutrition. Like I said, custom videos. One custom video explains macros and what they are and the macros that are specifically needed for all of your children. So you get all of that, access to the website, which comes with access to our custom macronutrient calculator just for kids. We have the first children's macro calculator that has ever existed basically on all of the web, right? It's a specific algorithm that I created myself and we built out this tech and you can run custom macros for all your kids right there on Clovis Kids, but that's exclusive members only access. On top of that, you get access to the private Facebook group, the Clovis Kids Facebook group, which is just huge. All the parents are in there. We have pictures of all 85 kids just drinking their paleo powder, drinking their digest and rest, trying things like Zevia. You get access to the approved foods list as well, the kids approved foods list, which is different than my normal approved foods list. We added all sorts of snacks and personal care and household items and supplements, right? Supplement recommendations for your kids. It's unbelievable. So you get access to all this, which is normally $127. Then, on top of the access to Clovis Kids and all these amazing goodies that come along with it, we're gonna give you a bag of what we're calling Kids Digest and Rest Paleo Powder, my Perfect Paleo Powder, right? We're gonna give you a bag of that, chocolate or vanilla, whichever one you decide. It's for your kids. Let your kids drink it. Don't drink all your kids Digest and Rest. That's normally $59.99. And then, I announced last week that I am now charging for adult custom macronutrients, but if you get this offer right now, access to Clovis Kids plus a bag of digestion rest, $127 plus $59.99. I'm going to throw in custom macronutrients for up to 2 parents in the household, for up to 2 adults, all right? So we'll say 2 parents, partner, whatever it may be. Now, my custom macros are $97 per person, so I'll do it for up to 2 adults in the house. It's $97 plus $97. So this entire offer, 2 parents macros, $97 plus $97, kids digestion rest, $59.99. Access to Clovis Kids and the entire suite of goodies, which is normally $127. This is a $380 offer. Tonight only. All you have to do, hashtag buy Clovis Kids. I'm going to give you all of this. $380 value. Tonight only for $147. That's it. $147, access to Clovis Kids and all its goodies, $127 retail value. Bag of Kids Digestion Rest, chocolate or vanilla. It's a $59.99 retail value. Macros for up to 2 parents in the household, $97 plus $97. It's a $380 value. And today only, we're giving it to you for $147. All you have to do, hashtag buy Clovis Kids. Type it in the comments. We'll take care of the rest. I urge you, get your kids into Clovis Kids. Get the custom macronutrients for yourself. We will teach you how to achieve fat adaptation directly through me, okay? Now, I understand that some of you out there do not have children. So we didn't want to leave you out this week. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 offers this week, feeling super generous. So I'm going to give you an offer just for custom macronutrients tonight, okay? So, like we said, custom macronutrients per person is $97. So that's all there is to it. This second offer, if you want to get custom macronutrients from me, we're basically just making it really easy for you to do that right now. So if you want custom macronutrients, that comes with your custom macronutrients based on your individual numbers that I'll get from you. So I'll give you your custom nutrition plan. So you're getting your custom macros and nutrition plan. You're getting the approved foods list. I'll give you a weekly follow-up email to check on your progress. We can tweak things as we need to. You can tell me questions, concerns, troubles that you're having. I'm also going to make custom supplement recommendations for you specifically as an individual, because you're all unique. Supplement recommendations. So custom macros, approved foods list, weekly email with me so I can walk you through exactly how things are going. We can tweak things as we need to. Let me know what you're worried about, if you're feeling good, if you're feeling bad, how we need to tweak. I'm going to give you supplement recommendations based on your individual needs as an individual little snowflake, right? You guys are all individuals, unique. This is different for everyone. There are no blanket statements. I'm also going to give you personal fitness recommendations. So we'll go through what we just talked about: fat adaptation, metabolic inflexibility, metabolic flexibility. We'll see where you're at as an individual. I am now your health coach, okay? And all you have to do for that is comment right now, hashtag buy custom macros. That's it. Hashtag buy custom macros. You're going to get charged that $97 for your custom macros and all that comes along with it. Basically, I become your health coach for $97. And I've done this for 315 people in just the last 60 days with staggering results. Get on the Clovis Academy, the private Facebook group, and check that out so you can see some of those results. Go back and watch some of the AMAs. We talk about 50 pounds in 6 weeks, 40 pounds in 60 days, 22 pounds in 6 weeks, all these crazy results we're getting. Those are all done with this custom plan. Trust me, you may not think you need it. You need it. You want to maximize results? You need it. A lot of people in the Clovis Academy are like, yeah, I hung out in the Academy for 6 weeks and I tried to do it on my own and here I am. I really need your help. I'm not seeing the results. Trust me, I can help you guys hammer this stuff down week 1, day 1, get you the results you want. So there you go. Clovis Kids tonight, or custom macronutrients. All you have to do, whichever one you want, hashtag buy Clovis Kids in the comments or hashtag buy custom macros. Nice and easy, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for watching my videos every week. You guys mean the absolute world to me. Thank you for letting me do the work that I love. This is live. Ask Me Anything. Number 16, how to feel amazing all the time. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next week.